Welcome back to Rice Chat.
Hello.
I'm Oscar. I'm joined by
Geraint.
And Peter.
This time we're going to be talking more 2016. Consoles in 2016.
Consoles in 2016.
You play them, you buy them, you love them.
Ooh.
Where are we at?
Where are we at? So,
I think we've all got most of the consoles.
we all almost the consoles. I think
You don't have PS4?
no,
we have it in the office.
only here. So I obviously do play PS4. There's one there. In fact, there's two there.
Which do you prefer?
If
If you had to recommend to someone who doesn't have a console, and I have been asked
it's got to be PS4. I don't think there's really
yes,
any,
I have to go
there's
PS4.
really, but my habits are kind of different.
Someone's like, my dad doesn't have one and he wants to get one. And I have to go like PS4 because I legitimately don't think he'd be able to figure out the Xbox One menu. Because I can't.
You can't. If I had to put them in order, in terms of like the one that I like the most and has the content that I want, it's got to be PS4. In terms of the one that's most used in my house, it's going to be the Xbox One because like everything goes through it. Like
You have a family.
so, we have a family, so like it's used for like
I
Netflix,
do see you usually
Amazon,
like, it's
Crunchyroll,
Geraint on Sky.
Sky, like everything. Even the TV goes into the Xbox, and then goes into the TV, and it's all voice controlled, which is like the best thing ever.
Oh, of course, I don't have that.
So I can like turn it off while I'm walking up the stairs to go to bed, without having to go back into the living room and turn it on. So that's probably my most used console. So any kind of multi-format stuff, let's say like Fallout or whatever, or if it's Deus Ex, I'll play it on that. But if you're a fan of Japanese games, then you've really got no choice but to have a PS4.
Both consoles are rolling out some
Yeah.
pretty good streaming to PCs.
Yeah, this is true.
The Xbox one is the only one I've tried with that. It's pretty nice, actually.
For Windows 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You just go Xbox in the Cortana
And then
bar or
away
whatever.
you go.
And then you go,
The annoying thing though, and maybe I'm wrong, but if like people in my house are watching the TV, I can't play Fallout 4. You can only stream what is currently being used.
That
on
would
that
seem to
machine.
make sense with
That's
how I
kind
know
of
it
weird.
works.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's definitely how it works. But the way it's just literally a stream. But you can use the Xbox 360 controller to play it, which is weird.
Yeah, because you're actually just connecting it to your.
Yeah, I think you could use any PC controller, which is a bit weird.
Weird. So I it doesn't have very much in the way of Japanese content on the Xbox One.
What's coming up with Xbox One?
Scalebound is the in terms of like
Delayed
Japanese
2017,
developed stuff. Yeah, exactly.
But I think
Final Fantasy is in the air on Xbox One. I don't think it is.
No, a lot of these Japanese releases you see coming out, like PS4, Vita kind of thing.
Yeah. Vita, I don't think you can forget. Vita is still legitimately brilliant console.
Yeah, I just wish Sony would persevere and keep
everybody
supporting
else,
it.
Everybody else is supporting it apart from Sony.
It's like no mention of it at the conferences, basically.
Yeah, and it's weird because I probably buy maybe certainly 2 titles on it every single month.
Almost whenever there's a sale,
Yeah,
unless I already have
buy-
the games I
yeah,
want,
yeah.
which is most often the case now.
I
I almost purely use it as a digital machine as well. I've got maybe 4 cart games, which I picked up.
the
here
only
and
sometimes
there.
I do put like Japanese imports and stuff still, but it's mainly down to the fact that I can't.
And PSP library and PS1 library.
yeah, exactly.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
I played like a lot of Symphony of the Night on that, bouncing between PS3 and Vita. Play Symphony of the Night wherever you are.
So what other consoles are there? I mean, NX is the one that comes to mind. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter about NX in the last 2 days
Yes.
because of the whole 900p.
Oh yes, I
controller
haven't
store.
seen this.
So
Does
apparently,
that actually matter then?
I don't even know if it's like I don't know if it's a legitimate leak, but apparently GFK.
It would surprise me a little bit because
leaked
we
some
use
data.
like 1080, 60 on most stuff, isn't it?
I don't know if that's actually true though. Is it?
I don't know.
Is it?
I can't see
I think
the
Mario
peaks.
Kart is 60 frames per second. Isn't it? Is that correct?
I think Nintendo tends to prioritize 60 frames rather than the resolution
Resolution.
because they're all about
the
game
best way
feel,
to go.
which some people are like, oh no, they shouldn't be doing it that way.
I think it does matter.
It's
though.
like, have you played Super Mario 3D World? It's like butter.
Yeah. No, and I think
I
think
butter.
I think it does. It's like when you play a racing game at 60 frames per second, you immediately go right. Okay, no, I totally get this. And when you have to go back to 30 frames per second, it feels wrong.
See, I would say that 720p is like the point you want to get to, and then there's diminishing returns from that, like in the amount of processing power it's going to take to get up to 1080, to get up to 4K, and so on and so forth. And
I mean, ideally,
it's
I'd
better
like
to
it
just
bigger,
have
bigger is better.
better
but
frames.
Make the game as good as you can.
So
Yeah. Yeah, so it's, actually, I don't think you can really put too fine a thing on the quality of your TV as well in terms of how things look. So, you know, sometimes I can use old consoles on my TV and they still look really, really nice. So I don't think it's not a massive deal breaker for me. I think I would prefer to have the frames over the resolution, I think.
Yeah, you want it to feel good.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for just playing a game and it just feels like the movements are coming out of your hand.
Yes, yeah.
Rather than, well, I mean, it's not like it's all terrible.
No.
Otherwise.
But I mean, at the same time, I didn't even know if that document, the GFK document, was a proper leak or whether or not it was a fake leak. I don't know.
I definitely want to see the NX. I think it's pretty certain it will come out this year.
Mm.
I think the stuff that I saw about the manufacturing and the shipping and stuff from the factory, they could have the units like in place by April.
Really?
So yeah, it could be like an early half of the year thing.
You know, E3 be surprised, it's already been out for 2 months. Because surely E3 is going to be their reveal. Would you think?
It has to be.
I think they maybe they're planning to do E3 and then bam.
Yeah, they might be like, oh,
It's out
here's
too
the
late.
reveal
This
at
weekend or
E3,
whatever, yeah.
and it's gonna be out like right now, and then everyone just shits themselves, and then fights.
You won't be able to get it
fights.
for ages, probably.
Get it.
Yeah.
They'll be shorted. It'll be a Wii situation all over again.
Yeah.
I had to wait months for that Wii. And it was like a Christmas present thing, and I got the money for it,
Yeah.
and then I had to wait like months until I could
Oh,
even
no.
get one.
I queued in New York in the freezing cold for about 9 hours to get mine.
It's the only time
Really?
in my life where I've had to deal with that kind of like shortage type thing. I think was it the PS2? Kind of hard to
I
get.
didn't. No, I think PS2 was kind of okay. I don't
Oh,
suppose I had a
yeah.
problem with it. Xbox I didn't get until a little bit later. GameCube was fine. Was fine to get, I think.
See, I've never had that problem. I'm not a day one console man, because launch lineups on day one for most consoles are absolute utter
Yeah, it turned out
garbage.
to be.
That
So-
Wii Sports though.
So it
Yeah, that would be
takes.
that Wii Sports. That's true.
It changed my life, even
Yeah.
though you go back and it's kind of shit now.
So
at
you
the
like
time.
you'll spend a ton of money getting the console, then you have like this just brick that sits there for about 6 months before you actually have something decent to play on it.
Twilight Princess and Wii was alright. Twilight Princess was
So
alright,
so
yeah.
I base it not on consoles or manufacturers. I base it on the games. So if they have an amazing game on launch day, then I might go and buy it on launch day.
Yeah.
But if they don't have an amazing game until 6 months down the line, then I'm not getting it until 6 months down the line.
Yeah.
So I've never really had that problem.
What else is there console-wise? That's it.
3DS?
There, isn't it? 3DS.
Still chugging along. I think it'll kind of maybe depend on how the NX, whether there'll be like another half to it that is handheld.
There's no more hardware planned, is there? What about VR? I guess is the other one. Is VR due to hit this year?
Well, they hit the price point. They revealed
Oculus
the
was like
price point of
$500, so that's a lot. That's a lot of dollars for a headset.
Is it like $500, £600 or something?
$500 is
Yeah, we kinda had-
no,
no,
it's like it's the other way around. It's like £350, £400.
Yeah, but it's a certain price in the US, and then it's just
Yeah.
more expensive for no reason in the UK.
Yeah. So if it's $500, it'd be £500.
They've sold out their allocated pre-order stock, but that could have been 20.
And this is the thing. I know the price of the unit will come down, and I
It's always like this with new technology.
Yeah, it is,
now.
and
I
you
mean,
do
remember
have-
HD TVs? I was
Yeah.
like, there's no way I'm getting one of those.
yes, this is true. This is true. But yeah, the price always does come down, and you can't blame the people that are making the hardware to effectively try and recoup as much of their cost as possible.
Do you want
from
one?
that? And yeah, of course I want one. It'd be amazing.
How would it go down in your family-based household?
I
So
think
that
it would
VR
be.
hentai.
I think that's the thing that I would find a little.
It's kind of
weird
behind
and
closed doors then, so it's actually fine.
and disconcerting. It's almost like I'd want to be.
Do you want me to watch hentai on the main TV? Or
Oh, do you want to watch it on the Oculus
beamed
Rift?
into my eyes?
Just sitting there in the corner of the sofa.
watching hentai through your Oculus Rift. It would be a bit weird. I would feel kind of self-conscious because you are in the same room as people and you still got it on, and so you're kind of cut off from them. It's almost like I need to go into a room on my own and lock the door,
Yeah.
not because I'm watching hentai,
Like
mate,
Darth
but
Vader's
because yes, like Darth Vader's pod, you can just come down. Yeah, it would be weird, but I guess one of those things is like you remember like using voice commands on Xbox One for the first time, for example. Like when I first got it in and I plugged it all in, I was like, Xbox on, Xbox Watch BBC News or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It felt really self-conscious, and I was really aware of it, and I kind of didn't like it. And my first thought was like, it'd just be much easier if I just like press a button and to like select things that I want. But it's become a major part of our household. The best thing about it is if your kids are playing something and you want them to stop playing it, I can just walk into a room and say Xbox turn off. Yes, and then that's it. They're totally screwed.
What if they didn't use the save point?
Well, exactly. I don't care about save points anymore. No.
I guess
but the fact is, I think
you can just hang
initially
it
there is
down.
that kind of when you have a new technology that's like that, like there is going to be a feeling of it being weird. But give it, 6 months to a year, it will just become a normal thing for your sister to be sat in the corner of the room with her Oculus Rift on playing.
Not moving.
Yeah.
She's been there for days. She's dead.
You've been there for 2 weeks, poking her with a stick, pushing some cheese crackers into her mouth.
Wow. We didn't talk that much about PS4 though. PS4, what's coming up?
PS4.
Street Fighter 5.
Street Fighter 5. I think things like Phantasy Star Online 2, which was announced for PS4. I really want to play that game. Is it ever going to come out? I don't know.
Not in the West.
No. It's and that kind of still rankles me a bit. There's still a PlayStation Vita version of 2 which hasn't come out. There's still a PlayStation Monster Hunter style Phantasy Star that still hasn't come out. Still makes me a bit sad. That's not available.
Tokuden 2 is coming this year.
Yes, and Tokuden is awesome. So that's really exciting.
I like the first, Kiwami version. of the
Kiwami,
first one.
yeah, it's great. I prefer it to Monster Hunter. Actually,
I don't know if I do.
That's
taken on its
Monster
own,
Hunter.
but
There's less faff involved in Tokuden.
4 is not that faffy. As far as 4 is the most approachable one.
Okay.
But unlike Monster Hunter 3, there isn't a big screen version of 4. It's 3DS or out.
Oh yeah.
So having Tokuden on PS4 is it's a tasty treat for the eyes. I like having things
what else
on
PS4 wise? Attack on Titan bizarrely is after seeing the footage of it the last couple of days, it is very much at the forefront of my mind for PS4 releases at the moment.
It does look pretty good.
Japanese game wise, it does have the edge on exclusives.
New Naruto game looks really nice. You played it? I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah. That one is actually on Xbox One.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to be getting a PS4 copy of that in soon.
The good thing I like about that is it looks so busy, and the level of particleness. Is that a word? Yes.
They did have to put it back.
It's insane.
Kind of got delayed for kind of a while. It was meant to come at the end of last year.
They have to reduce the particles because it was just like the busiest thing ever.
They're just shoving it with so
amazing.
much stuff because this is meant to be the last one in the series.
Right.
I don't really know why they've said it's the last one because everyone always buys these games.
Yeah.
They'll probably get like Ultimate Ninja Storming or something.
Yeah.
Like a new series. But they've just like shoved like all of the Naruto in there that they possibly can. Because those guys always seem like really big fans of Naruto. They've been doing these behind the scenes videos where they've got like a wall of manga and pictures and everything. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like 3D fighting kind of stuff. But then there are also sections where it's almost Warriors-esque.
Okay.
Where there's like a huge battlefield.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on where you are in the story as to whether you're fighting through a big battle or you're doing a one-on-one fight. And there's also bits where you are giant monsters. You do I can't remember what they're called in Naruto, but you do the summon the big monster.
Yeah.
So one fight I played in the preview was one-on-one the main good guy from the past and the main bad guy from the past, like a prologue kind of fight.
Okay.
And then you get to a certain point and then they go into their big forms and then you gotta try and like approach him while he's like throwing stuff at you and then you do like big monster fighting.
But yeah, it does look nice. Very colourful.
Yeah. They definitely got that toon shading.
Yes,
down,
they have. They're certainly nailed that toon shading.
which I think is just cell shading. I don't really know if there's a
I think
difference.
it is. I don't know,
that
I don't know
marketing
why.
It's the
thing.
same thing. It's the
Yeah,
exact same
I think it's an Americanism for that art style.
Toon shading.
Perhaps. Yeah.
It definitely looks nice.
Yeah.
They got like good fire effects and stuff.
Mm.
Focusing on the details. I also interviewed. Check it out.
Oh yeah. Is it on the site?
Yep. Interview, preview, posted about the behind the scenes. I'm all over the Naruto.
Brilliant. Good. Yeah, because it does look good.
I did used to be quite into Naruto.
What else big? PS4, Persona 5 is there. I've kind of dialed back my expectations a little bit. I know it's going to be great, but I kind of, when the delay happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to like sort of compartmentalize the fact this game exists and store it away in my brain until the readiness for the hype is back again. So yeah, it's kind of niggling in the back of my mind that it's due, it's coming, and I'm excited for it. But I'm trying not to get too like upset about the wait for it.
Yeah. See, I'm excited about it, but at the same time, I'm not as excited about it as I was about 4. I don't know, I think it's the colours. It doesn't make me as happy as 4 did.
The freaky cat thing, not as cool as Teddy, I think it's fair to say. And I'm not a big fan of his mask. I'm not a big fan of that kind of like masquerade thing going on. However, the art direction does still look really sick.
Yeah, it does look good. It's just that I miss 4. I think I loved 4 too much.
Do you not feel that like
the happy music
characters
and the colours and everything is just like
you've got Dancing All Night.
It made me happy to play that game. Whereas this is
happiness
kind
is
of goes back to that darker style of 3.
Yeah,
which is still good, but it doesn't give me the feels.
Kind of get the sense that the characters are maybe a bit older.
I think, and a lot of it will depend on how kind of normal the overworld is. Because I think you're right. But if that kind of darkness is like limited to the dungeon sections, then it might be okay. But yeah, the urban like everyday life part of it, I think that might still be kind of quite bright.
Yeah,
but it's going
to super depressing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be more realistic slant to it than with Persona 4.
So the main takeaway then is get your dad to buy a PS4 for Persona 5.
Makes
and
sense.
a PlayStation Vita, because it's still one of the best consoles
for Persona 4.
Although interestingly, if you have either a PS4 or an Xbox One, I would say buy a Wii U. Because
it's still good.
At this point, there's no point in having both a PS4 and an Xbox One. I do. But they overlap so much that your gaming well-roundedness is much better served by having one of the PS4 or Xbox One and then
it complement it with the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's first-party content is always amazing. So, and yeah, I don't think you can ever forget that.
Before we end this, then, how about PC?
PC's amazing at the moment.
I got a Steam Link, and it's very nice. Plug that into the home TV, the main TV.
And away you go.
Beams it in. Well, it doesn't beam it. It actually goes through wires.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of those. Yeah, I think it has like some kind of stuff going on in the box where it optimizes like the Steam games.
Okay.
A little bit, because I was playing a non-Steam game through the Steam library, and it wasn't quite as good. So I don't know, they're doing something good there.
So PC-wise, loads of really good niche Japanese content. Loads of visual novels.
Danganronpa's coming out.
Danganronpa.
It's kind of everyone's just going, oh, okay.
Everyone's just like piling all of their old content onto Steam, and I think that's brilliant.
Because you can access it on whatever computer you're on.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about Blade and Soul? Which
Blade
I
and
only
Soul.
just started playing yesterday. Got through the character creator.
So that just came out.
This came out
in the West.
I only played through the opening.
Is this a Korean one?
Yes. It's been out for a couple of years in Korea, and then finally the Western release came
out
a couple of days ago. And it's good. It's way more cinematic than I thought it was.
So it's like hack and slash kind of stuff.
Yes, as in you have.
Is it a secret numbers game still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really. It feels like Terra so far.
Yeah.
With the class that I've chosen, it feels a bit like Terra, which is no bad thing. It looks really nice. But I haven't played enough of it yet. But I've played enough to know that I'm going to play it more.
Does Dark Souls count as an MMO?
No, it does not.
I like Dark Souls.
Why don't you just download Blade and Soul and play with us during lunchtime?
Because I saw you guys playing it. It didn't look very good.
It looked brilliant.
It looked amazing.
It did look amazing. Although I have to remake my character because I accidentally made a character with unintentionally, I should probably point out, like the biggest bottom out of proportion bottom that you've ever seen, and I couldn't.
And you name her after your wife as
no.
well.
So I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no, that's bad form. So
Why
I have
did
to
you
go.
do that?
Well, it was an
That's
accident. I just didn't realise just how out of proportion it would be. So that's all.
I had that issue actually last night. I made a female character because I had this whole conversation about how oily the girls are, and then I figured, okay, let's check out how oily they are. And then
they do look kind of waxy.
I accidentally got a giant butt.
Maybe it's a flaw in your perception of what you've made in the character creation and what you actually get.
So I had to go back and make it again, and then you have to make a girl with a butt that seems really small in the character creator, and then it looks okay in the actual game.
So if you're playing Blade and Soul, number one tip is to like reduce the size of the butt.
Yes.
In order to reach the correct butt. So like think of the butt size you want, and then take it down a couple of notches.
Yeah. Take it down by about 20%. Unless, of course, you like big butts and you can't lie.
There you go. I think that's probably the perfect place to end.
You guys need to get out of my RuneScape. So I got a lot of lobbies going down. I can't get into those really.
I love them.
It's too dangerous and boring.
I'm a serial MMO starter, which is kind of cool because they're free, and I like to see the opening areas.
Black Desert's coming out.
Oh yes, that looks brilliant. Black Desert, which has the most awesome character creator ever.
Yeah, it did look amazing.
Kind of a lot of MMOs happening again.
Black Desert looks so good though. It looks so nice. Character creator is available now. Is that right?
Yeah.
So if you're interested in amazing character creators, try Black Desert.
That one does look a bit nice.
It is absolutely
like
freaking rad.
The visual design.
Yeah, very very good. Although I don't think my laptop's going to power that though. Blade and Soul can manage, but Black Desert is a step up.
Yeah, my new computer just did it. I could run Blade and Soul like 3 times over, and my computer wouldn't break sweat.
Have you tried Black? Who are you calling it? Black Desert? Black Desert.
No, I have not tried it yet. I'm not gonna mess around with it until I can actually play the whole game.
When's it?
I have no idea.
That's gonna make me sad. Actually, it's gonna make me sad that I don't have a computer that's gonna be able to run that game because it does look phenomenally nice. Harrison's been playing it, the other one, for ages, and it's got no fast travel in it as well, apparently, which might be really
okay, I'm never playing.
Anyway, so before we launch into maybe an MMO discussion is for another time.
So the main thing is get your dad a PC so you can make big butts in Blade. Thanks for watching.
Big oily butts.
Let us know what you think about consoles in 2016, and then we might read those. I will read them.
I will also read them.
I get emails about
Oscar will read them and then tell them to me.
Maybe I'll give some. I'll put some thumbs up in there.